Welcome to tonight's City Council meeting, June 26, 2023. Please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome to the Westminster City Council meeting for June 26, 2023. We thank you for coming and would like to remind all in attendance that our meetings are subject to the rules of decorum that are posted at the back of the room. We want to be sure you all feel welcome and remind all there is an expectation that no attendee will disrupt this meeting and that threats and intimidation are prohibited. Signs and placards are prohibited in council chambers, and all attendees shall remain seated in the seats provided, not in the aisles, nor shall the doorways be locked. Roll call, please.
Councillor Baker.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem DeMott.
Present.
Councillor Emmons. Councillor Azadi.
Here.
Mayor McNally.
Here.
Councillor Nurmela. Here. And Councillor Seymour.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, Mayor. I move that we excuse Councilor Emmons from tonight's meeting.
Councillor Seymour.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to excuse Councillor Emmons from this meeting tonight. Any comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. That brings us to consideration of minutes of June 12th. Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, Mayor. I move to approve the minutes of the June 12th, 2023 meeting as presented.
Councillor Seymour.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes of June 12th, 2023. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. That brings us to public comment. The public comment portion of the meeting is an opportunity for the public to communicate with the City Council. Each participant will be given no more than 5 minutes on any topic they choose. Public comment is not intended to be a back and forth discussion. If there is a public hearing scheduled for an item on which you wish to speak, please hold your comments until the public hearing. Tonight, there are no public hearings. This evening, the city clerk has informed me we have
8 emails that were attached to the packet, 1 voicemail, and we have 2 speakers signed up to speak in person.
Okay, let's hear them.
The first speaker is Tom Lampo.
Welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be back in front of Westminster. Hope all of you are doing well. I'm here to pray for the city of Westminster. Heavenly Father, in Jesus Christ's precious and holy name, we invite you here to the city of Westminster. You are always welcome here. You are flawless in all matters. Your character can never be questioned. At times we are overwhelmed with life. We feel alone, but we aren't. In Psalm 139, 1 through 4, David writes, "O Lord, you have searched me and know me. You know when I sit down and when I rise up. You discern my thoughts from afar. You search out my path and my lying down, and are acquainted with all my ways. Even before a word is on my tongue, behold, O Lord, you know it all together." We can take comfort in knowing we are known by you, and you are near at all times. You are a patient, loving, and merciful God. In Psalm 86:15, it attests to your character and states, "But you, O Lord, are a God merciful and gracious, slow to anger, and abundant in loving kindness and truth." Your patience, love, and mercy extend to us because you want everyone to commit to you. In Luke 12:23 it states, "Whoever is not with me is against me, and whoever does not gather with me scatters." So I beg your mercy and ask you to send your Spirit to us. In John 16:13 you state, "When the Spirit of truth comes, he will guide you into all the truth. For he will not speak on his own authority, but whatever he hears he will speak, and he will declare to you the things that are to come." Let the Spirit guide us in truth. In Jesus Christ's precious and holy name I pray. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next speaker is John Palmer.
Welcome.
Thank you. Good evening, councilors, mayor, city manager. Mr. Andrews. I had quite a few things on my list earlier today, but one of them being Elite Motors, the other one being the Alpine Vista development. But after working with Logan Morley over in Community Development this afternoon, we'll kind of just let those rest for now, see how it pans out. So there's been a lot of chitter and chatter on social media concerning some nesting eagles over at the Highland Ponds. I understand that there are federal regulations. The Wildlife Conservation Group has been informed. People are questioning what's the plans moving forward with the water treatment plant with the eagles being nesting over there. So if we could get some kind of update on that. I don't know if city manager's office is aware of all of that at this point. All right, I was informed that there should be a letter coming from the Wildlife Conservation Group about that, because it is a federal thing with messing with the eagles in their nest while they're, whatever it is they do, laying eggs. All right, quickly, I'd like to give both the fire chief and the police chief gold stars. Excellent. Saturday presentations, demonstrations, interaction with the community, just top-notch affair. Can't say enough for those first responders. And I believe Sergeant Esslinger put all that together. He, good job on his part. Take a minute and talk about one of the letters that's in your packet. There was a mailed-in comment from Charles Gallegos. If you need more information on that or contact information, a little more in-depth, because I had spoke with those people on what happened that night. So if you need more information, let me know. I've got all of their contact information. I think that's it. I'll play nice tonight.
Thank you. That brings us to city manager's report. Oh, voicemail, sorry. Sorry.
No, that was the last one person we had signed up. We do have a voicemail.
Okay, go ahead. May I speak as well? Just 1 second.
If we could have the person in the audience speak first.
We have a sign-up time for people to speak, and if there's anyone that forgot to do that or didn't do that, now's the time to raise your hand and come forward. Welcome.
Thank you for allowing me to speak, even though I didn't get signed up on that. My name is Craig Russell. I've been here before. I wanted to talk to you about the systematic inspection reports that we get from the city of Westminster, and we've talked a few times about it. No one's really ever gotten back to me, and I've asked for you guys to nominate that so we can get it on discussion with the council, but no one seems to find it important enough to be able to do that. What's upsetting about it is because it seems to be rather discriminatory, what we're doing on that. It's not applied equally to everybody. And something else that isn't applied equally to everybody is the way we're doing the water here in Westminster. And I'm kind of a little upset about that too. I guess the analogy that I look at it is that I can understand how different rates are different people. It's understandable. I mean, if you go to a gas station, not all rates are the same. But if Westminster only had one gas station in all of Westminster, wouldn't they charge their customers all the same rate? I mean, Nancy, if you went in and you were paying, I don't know, $3.71 a gallon, shouldn't I expect to pay $3.71 a gallon? Ovi, shouldn't you expect to pay $3.71 a gallon? Any of you? But that's not the case, because that's what a homeowner pays for water. Every 1,000 gallons of water, they pay $3.71, which is a new higher increase at the beginning of this year. But I, as a renter, pay $7.85 for that same amount of water. And I don't think that I should have to pay more than anybody else just because I rent. I think that's a discrimination, and I think it's unfair. We're asking for affordable housing in Westminster. I certainly do my best part to keep it affordable for the people that rent from us. But they pay their own water bills. I don't pay it for them. They have to pay it themselves. They reimburse it. And they're getting cheated. There's no other way to put it. When you pay over 100% more than the next guy for the exact same thing, that's just not fair. And I'm going to have to just assume you guys don't know about that. But then I'd wonder why the city council wouldn't know about something like that, because they are in charge of that kind of stuff. And I thought, well, maybe it's because we only paid up till 2022, $6 for the interstructure fee per line. So if I had 4 units, I paid $6. But of course, we changed that to, we call it the road improvement fee now. And now it's $6 per every unit. Everybody pays it. So everyone's bill on top of paying double for the water went up by $6. And that has to be paid even if the unit is vacant. If there's nobody living in it, you're still charging them for roadway improvement fees, even if there's no one there. So if you had 10 units, you went from $6 to $60. If you had more, you went up to $600. There was no information that this was coming down the line. I've looked at all my bills. I have them for years. There was no warning this was going to happen. Just all of a sudden you got a bill for, in my case on a 4 unit, $24 instead of $6. So I thought that maybe the rate would come down to help compensate for that. It has not. We're still being gouged, and we're being gouged unfairly as a renter. Again, would you pay 115% more than the guy sitting right next to you at the gas station? Doesn't seem fair to me. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Who else raised their hand? Welcome.
Welcome, Mayor and Council. I just wanted to take just a couple minutes. Some of you, I think all of you, probably at least on the council, got an email from me and my wife here this last week concerning a proposal for getting on the ballot this November, a measure that would allow us to do what every other city surrounding us does, what just about all cities of any size, more than just a few thousand people do, and that is to have wards or districts in their election of city councilors. That ensures that each area is better represented. It facilitates better communication to your councilor. One side benefit is if you look at the cost to run successfully for election here in Westminster to city council, it tends to be, maybe 3 times that of similar cities surrounding us, like Thornton or others, because you only need to get your message out to a little smaller area than the entire city. There are probably many ways to skin that cat. I proposed one. I shared a proposal that probably is the least disruptive, I guess, if you will. It kind of keeps the city council about the same size and divides things up kind of by North and South Adams County and a kind of a Jeffco ward. In the end, obviously, that will have to be fine-tuned based on population so that it's equally balanced. There are other ways to do it. Personally, I probably would prefer to have, actually add probably another district or 2 and even have a little more granularity there and maybe even increase the size of the council by a couple people. Whether that's through districts or even at large approach there. But I want to really kind of minimize the at large part of it, because I think that you really want to have that focused attention that comes with having wards and having counselors being able to just be primarily responsible. Not, I don't want to disregard the fact that they need to look out for the entire city, but certainly have that focused attention that comes with a smaller ward that they represent. So if you look at that email, you'll see that all the cities surrounding us do it. Even cities that are smaller than us have as many as 8 or 10 counselors, and probably worked pretty well back in the day when Westminster was a real small city to have just a few, just an at-large, half dozen counselors. I think we've outgrown that a long time ago, and it's way, way past time to get that on the ballot. No, we don't need to study anymore. I think that was not very helpful to put a ballot measure out there to do a study. It's been done. It's been being done all around us. You guys need to just get together and agree on something that makes sense, and let's get it on the ballot here in November.
Sir,
Thanks.
may I have you introduce yourself for the record?
Oh, okay. Yeah, some of them know me because I've talked to them before. I'm Scott Ireland, and am a resident, longtime resident. We go all the way back to 1986. I've lived in the city, kind of up on the north end of town. Thanks.
Anyone else? City Manager.
Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, councilors. We'll go ahead and get started with our city manager update. If we could have the next slide.
Oh, sorry, we have a voicemail.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I
Okay.
forgot. That's the reason I was trying to get that piece done first.
Hello, this is Cheryl E. Martinson. Lived in Westminster most of my entire life. I live in Kings Mill on West 90th Avenue. I'm calling to urge you not to vote for a new water treatment plant. I feel that the old one can be repaired at much less cost. Our citizens in Westminster, especially our seniors, we're already taxed and property taxed almost out of our ability to stay in our homes where we have lived for many, many years. I don't think we need a new tax to buy a new plant and build a new plant when we can repair the old one. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Let's try it a third time, City Manager. You're up.
All right, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, councilors. We'll work through our update here. So next slide. Westminster, and I've heard that some of our city staff members have gone to check out the cuisine and have loved it. And so encourage folks to go visit Bonchon, and then certainly go check out the other businesses that we have in our downtown as it continues to grow. So good news story there. Next slide. One of the things that we've been working on since the great global cleanup and Earth Day and all of that earlier this spring was our city participation in the Leave No Trace campaign, and specifically our communications team is going to run a summer photography contest. So starting currently, we've got the contest for residents to actively and positively engage while educating people about the city's Leave No Trace initiative. So if you submit your best photos showcasing Westminster's natural beauty that we aim to protect, they're going to select kind of those top level folks, and then we'll run essentially a community-wide social media contest to determine the winners. We've got some prizes identified from Parks, Rec, and Libraries Department. We thank them for donating those to the project. And so if you want more information, go to our city website /photo contest. And then we wanted to follow up on one of our young students here in Westminster participated in the 94th Scripps National Spelling Bee. And so Aditi Muthu Kumar won the Colorado State Spelling Bee back in March. And then she finished 74th place, tied for that overall at the Scripps competition in DC later this spring. And so another great achievement by one of our up-and-coming Westminster students. So congratulations to her, and I'm sure her parents are extremely proud. Next slide, please. Some things to know, Environmental Advisory Board meeting goes this Wednesday, June 28th, 6:30 to 8 p.m., and that's in the City Hall CMO conference room. City Hall is closed on Thursday morning for employee safety and security exercise from 8 a.m. to noon. That's this Thursday. We'll have information coming out to the community via social media for that. Essentially, it's been a long time since the city has conducted fire and evacuation drills, tornado drills, and we've never done an active shooter drill here in City Hall, and so we'll be doing those 3 activities and working through those on Thursday morning. So we appreciate everyone's patience as we do that, but those are 3 important things that we need to do for our employees that work here at City Hall. Neighborhood Nights and Movie in the Park, Friday, June 30th, 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. It's Historic Westminster down at Fireman Park. And the rescheduled City Council study session for Monday, July 3rd is moved to July 31st. So just a reminder for that. And then there was some confusion about the Plan Commission meeting for tomorrow night. And I guess it was on the website and it was on the council calendar, but it's not tomorrow night. So we've pulled that down off of the website and wanted to make sure people knew that that was not going to happen here tomorrow night. Next slide. And so 4th of July celebration for the city goes Tuesday, July 4th. That's 4 to 10 p.m. at City Park. Our city administrative offices are closed on Tuesday, July 4th in recognition of Independence Day. And they will be open, though, however, on Monday, July 3rd. Special Permits and License Board meeting is Wednesday, July 5th, 7 to 8:30 p.m., City Hall Council Chambers. 1870s Vintage Baseball presented by the Westminster Historical Society will be held Saturday, July 8th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Wolf Run Park. Neighborhood Nights again on Friday, July 7th, 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. That's also in Historic Westminster Fireman Park. And then our next City Council meeting will be Monday, July 10th, beginning at 6:30 right here in Council Chambers. Next slide. Information-only items is proclamations and presentations. I'll just make a caveat for the council, not asking for any decisions, not asking for any guidance. If you want to talk about that at a future meeting or a study session, we certainly can. I had asked our city clerk, Abby Fitch, to do some research, find out other options. We can look at other options, but certainly just something to look at our efficiencies in our meetings, and is there a better way? And so if you don't think there's a better way, no harm, no foul, but we certainly offer that up as a potential solution. Next slide. And then, as always, remind the community to please give us a call. We want to take your calls, your questions, your concerns, your issues, your feedbacks, your thoughts. Please give us a call at the city manager's office, 303-658-2006. You can email me directly at mfreitag@cityofwestminster.us. You can follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, check us out on Instagram, or ring our bell at Nextdoor. As always, we want to remain accessible, responsive, transparent, and accountable. Pending questions, that's all I have.
Any questions? Councilor Namella?
I was just wondering on the proclamations piece, when would we have a chance to discuss that?
If the council so desired, we could schedule it for an upcoming study session. Right now, our August study session cycle is pretty slow, so we've got some options in August if the council wanted to do that.
I agree. Do we have 4 people that would like to see a discussion? I see more than 4.
Okay, we've got it, Mayor, and so we'll get that on the calendar for August. Thank you. That's pending. Any questions, other ones?
No, just a quick note, Manager Freitag, this came in late as a liaison to special permits and licensing. I believe the licensee requested to have their hearing pulled for the 5th, and it has already been updated on the website.
Good. Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? That brings us to council comments. Councilor Namella?
I just wanted to, thank the fire department and the police department for putting on such a great outreach event on Saturday. And I was really happy to see how many people attended and really impressed by everything that was put together, whether it was people rappelling down our our clock tower, or the helicopter being there to. So it was just it was really great. So thank you. I also just wanted to acknowledge the loss that we have today, and we lost a really important contributor to just the overall fabric of our city. Mary Beth Jenkins was a consultant with the city for about 20 years, and she was the brains and implementation behind a lot of our major retail and placemaking efforts throughout the city over this past 20 years. So if you go to the Promenade and Walnut Creek and you go to the Orchard or the new downtown, her efforts were behind getting the retail, getting the vision that the city had into actual physical form. And I had the pleasure of being able to work with her for quite some time through the downtown project. And she had a great passion for what she did. She was definitely a placemaker, a community builder, and she put a lot of energy and thought and time into our city. And it was just an example of how to be a leader in, especially as a woman, creating her own business, coming into Denver, and then truly making a significant impact, not only in our city, but many others. And her tenacity and her grit were one of her signifying characteristics.
And her glasses. She always had glasses to match every
fantastic
outfit.
Glasses, always put together, because she just thought about all the details. And she really focused on building relationships with people and working those relationships over many years to make things come to fruition. And so just wanted to say I really miss her. She was certainly gone too soon. So I know staff and her colleagues and her family and friends are definitely impacted by her loss. So,
Thanks. Councilor Baker?
Yes, I would like to emphasize the email we got about the city limiting the speech opportunities to a candidate. A couple weeks ago, we had addressed this in emails, and it seems there must be more to the story. So I think we should be vigorous in really pursuing this and finding out. Hopefully, it was a miscommunication how this occurred, and this really gentleman was given the wrong information.
Anyone else? I just wanted to share one more time, because we're so proud of him. Councilor Seymour was awarded the Rotary's Outstanding Rotarian of the Year. Congratulations. And that's for putting self before others, or others before self. Service before self. I knew I didn't have it correct. Thanks. And the public safety got triple A pluses. It was just a fun afternoon. Wind was wonderful. I don't know who you talked to about the weather, but it was perfect. And three of us, Councilor Namella, Mayor Pro Tem, and myself, are attending CML conference. And it started with a great day. We have more tomorrow and just a half a day on Wednesday. But great conference, great to see others across the state and hear what others are doing with same topics we deal with. I think the networking and sitting with these different folks at each of the breakouts is what's really a plus, because you're able to ask your questions, they ask you questions, and it's just a great event. So I'm happy to get to go to that Anyone else? Counselor Baker.
Yes, Mayor. I also think it's important to recognize the other people that were at the Public Works on Saturday, which included sewer cleaners and water guys and street plowers. And they were also an important part of what keeps this city running, and they should be acknowledged along with our first responders.
Everybody that was there, it was fantastic. That brings us to 9A, resolution number 18. Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, Mayor. I move to adopt resolution number 18, appointing one alternate member and promoting one member from alternate to regular member to the Human Services Board.
Counselor Seymour.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to pass resolution number 18. Is there any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Counselor Baker.
Yes?
Mayor Pro Tem Demott.
Yes.
Counselor Azadi.
Yes.
Mayor McNally.
Yes.
Counselor Nermella.
Yes.
And Counselor Seymour.
Yes.
The motion passes on a 6-0 vote.
That brings us to Counselor's Bill number 33. Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, Mayor. I move to pass Councilor Bill number 33 on first reading to approve a proposed amendment to Section 11-5-6.5A of the Westminster Municipal Code to modify the concept plan review process.
Counselor Seymour.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to pass Counselor's Bill number 33. Is there any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Mayor Pro Tem Demott.
Yes.
Counselor Azadi.
Yes.
Mayor McNally.
Yes.
Counselor Nermella.
Yes.
Counselor Seymour.
Yes.
And Counselor Baker.
Yes.
The motion passes on a 6-0 vote.
That brings us to item B, authorizing a contract with Motorola Solutions. Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, Mayor. I move based on the recommendation of the city manager to determine that the public interest would be best served by authorizing a negotiated purchase agreement from the National Association of State Procurement Officials, authorized provided Motorola Solutions, Inc. to design, construct, deliver, and implement an upgrade Motorola Astro P25 3-site simulcast radio system, dispatch console mobile radios, and other radio systems related to infrastructure in the amount not to exceed $4,449,267.
Counselor Seymour.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to authorize a contract with Motorola Solutions. Any further discussion? Counselor Baker.
Yes, I understand we're getting the best price possible on this because of the way we're buying it through. Though I would like to understand approximately how many radio units do we have?
Holcomb.
Mayor Pro Tem, Councilors, Norm Hobart, Chief of Police. This time I'd like to call up Nelson Martinez. He's our Technical Services Coordinator, and it has all the nitty-gritty answers for you.
Perfect.
Nelson?
Welcome.
Thank you. So to answer your question, we have about 700 radios on the system, including Public Works, Fire, and Police. We allow about 4,000 radios in our system from other agencies in case we have incidents where we need help, and vice versa. We work with other agencies.
And you've already, anticipated my next question is they were all really interoperable
Yes, sir.
with
They're
all our sister agencies around.
Yes, and this will be a phase 2 radio system, which is the next level of technology. Basically allows us to take our 10 frequencies and double the capacity, which is becoming necessary in this area. So any radio in metro area can talk in our system and vice versa.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I don't see any other questions. Roll call, please.
Counselor Azadi.
Yes.
Mayor McNally.
Yes.
Counselor Seymour.
Yes.
Counselor Nermella, sorry.
Yes.
Counselor Baker.
Yes.
And Mayor Pro Tem Demott.
Yes.
The motion passes on a 6-0 vote.
That brings us to item 10C. Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, Mayor. I move based on the recommendation of the city manager to find that the public interest will be served by a sole source agreement with Valley High Motel for a purchase not to exceed $219,000 for 2023.
Counselor Seymour.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to pass item 10C. Is there any further discussion? Counselor Azadi.
I just have a quick question. So I'm in full support of this. I just know that typically with these sorts of shelters, there's a silent issue of rules that reduce the access to all of the various folks who are experiencing the need for these. So my question is, so for example, there's identity documentation, criminal records, immigration status, all sort of pet policies, that reduce the access to these folks. What are the rules? What would the rules be in this setup?
Welcome.
Good evening, Mayor Pro Tem, Councilors. I'm Tomas Herrera Mischler, Director of Parks, Recreation, and Libraries. Councilor Azadi, I'm not familiar with the exact rules and guidelines that are required. I know that the primary barrier to housing people in this hotel is previous behavior that caused them to be banned by the hotel itself. So,
Okay. Can you get back
yes,
some
I
future
can
point?
speak with our expert informant, who is Kate Scarbeck, and get back to you with more details on that.
Thank you.
Councilor Seymour.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. If I'm correct in also assuming that part of our homelessness effort is it's critical that we have beds available in order to offer those services and offer those beds before we can move someone off public land. Is that correct?
That's correct. This provides the hotel voucher so that we can get them into a shelter of some sort. But it's not a traditional shelter. It's just space in a hotel where we can issue that hotel voucher and get them out of our public spaces or private spaces for that matter.
And then the other part of the continuum is if they are eligible to go to this, having not been banned before, and there are rooms available, then at that point we start the timeline to remove them. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Thank you.
Councilor Baker.
I mean, how many stays approximately does this buy?
I will have to get back to you on that exact number, Councilor. I don't know.
Mayor Pro Tem.
I'm curious, so with folks who have a history with this particular place, how does that affect being able to move to the next step of our continuum, or does it?
We would look to use a hotel voucher for another facility.
Okay, great, thank you.
Seeing no other questions, roll call, please.
Mayor McNally,
Yes.
Councilor Nermella,
Yes.
Councilor Seymour,
Yes.
Councilor Baker,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Demott,
Yes.
and Councilor Azadi.
Yes.
The motion passes on a 6-0 vote.
That brings us to item 11A, second reading of Councilor's Bill number 32. Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, Mayor. I move to pass Councilor Bill number 32 on second reading to approve amendments to section 11-11-8 and 11-11-16 of the Westminster Municipal Code to update references to the comprehensive plan with the sign regulations.
Councilor Seymour.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to pass item 11A, Councilor's Bill number 32. Is there any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilor Nermella,
Yes.
Councilor Seymour,
Yes.
Councilor Baker,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Demott,
Yes.
Councilor Azadi,
Yes.
and Mayor McNally.
Yes.
The motion passes on a 6-0 vote.
It is 7:41. I wish everybody a happy 4th and a safe 4th. And don't forget that every ball field will be filled with our sparkler tournament that starts Wednesday. So happy 4th of July.
Mayor, we do have a post-meeting presentation